Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video here today, and today we are going over Ricochet Harlowe, and this is a build that uses the Shalaska. We will finally use the Shalaska of Harlowe. So now with this gun, you're going to want to shoot multiple times until you get up to 5 stacks of this, so you have some crazy ricochets, and then when you're shooting the enemies, you have some ridiculous ricochets. Alright, so this is we're gonna go over the build. So we're using the Shalaska. This is a really good gun. You can use this. What we were using this mostly for bossing. You can also use the shooting scoop for bossing if you'd like to. If you want to use impact or stickies, both work. And then the linebacker for crystals, the Category's Revenge shows up here again. In most Harley builds, it shows up. It is here to get your action skill back. And then we are using the crit knife so you can get extra damage. Mini Spanspheric replicator, so you get fire rate and rage. And then we're using the study assistant, so we get 5 in refraction. And this one has 2 in distribution function, which you actually want. You want 2 in distribution function, so you don't got to put any points into it. Because you don't need any more than 2. You can actually get away with 2 and get plenty of overshield from how much damage we're doing. This one has kinetic damage, critical damage, and excodartation, which you're mostly looking for is excodartation. Obviously, the critical damage and kinetic damage is super nice, but you are going to be wanting to look for excodartation on this. You can also use the trooper from Bloom, is that's also an option. That also puts 5 points into this skill. That is also an option, but I decided to use the purple because we don't really take advantage of the effect. And then we're using them for the shield, the triple roll fireworks. You don't really need a triple roll for the fireworks for this to work well, but I do recommend probably getting a triple roll because it shoots out 5 missiles versus 3, and that's 2 extra missiles to kill enemies, which is really nice. Which also, when this is killing the enemies, if they're entangled, just gives you more extra rotation on kill. And then we're using the Messy and Powder, which is very important for the Shalaska. This gives you Headringer, gun to torque license parts, gain 25% damage and 100% damage radius, gun damage, and pistol splash radius, which is really nice. And then for the skill tree, we are using 5 momentum, so you get extra critical hit damage, 5 in neutron decay, so you irritate enemy, you get extra gun damage, 3 in creative overflow, you get 30 up to 30 up to 36% gun damage per overshield. And then convert to reality, 1.0% per cooldown. So this is really nice. 4 in gamma ray burst. So our first shot gets extra bonus radiation damage from our gun. 1 in Harlowe certainly principle. 3 in critical funding, because that's all you need. 5 in refraction. So this gives us a 60% ricochet chance and ricochet damage reduction. So this actually gives us a chance of extra ricochets with our gun. So instead of doing like the 5 extra, this gives us like an extra ricochet or 2 when it does the ricochet, which is really nice. And then we're using Excited Estate. So you can infinitely hit crits, which is important. And then we're using Group Study and Nuclear Winter. And then for the blue tree, we're using 5 in Parallel Circuit, 5 in Bright Future. So fire rate is really beneficial because when you're doing the gun actually can fire faster with more fire rate. So the faster you pull the trigger, the more fire rate you have. And negative entropy. This has 13 because we put 1 in here to get a little bit of gun handling. Plus, we have to put 1 in there to get in precision engineering. So we get extra critical hit damage. Put 1 into ripple effect so we can entangle enemies when we kill an enemy. And then discrete math. And this gives you up to 35% splash damage, which is really, really, really nice. And then we put 3 into sustained reaction. So when we're killing an entangled enemy, we get 50% action skill irritation on kill. And then we put 3 points into concurrence. Harlowe gains increased action skill irritation for every entangled enemy. So you get a bunch of action skill irritation per entangled enemy, which is really nice. So this is 15%. So that is really nice. And then for the specializations, we are using the best defense because we always have overshields. We're really benefiting from this. Riddle you this. Contaminations, you get status effect application chance. You don't really need, but compounding afflictions. Um, Most I choose to use these just because most of these really don't do a whole lot. So I don't really think any of these are really worth using. I mean, this one you could swap to over one of these if you want to aim, but I don't really care to aim. So you could swap to in the zone and get more damage. That's up to you. You could also use bullets are scared of me, so you get damage reduction when your shields are full over these. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.